Dave, tax filing season has begun. Whoopee, whoopee, hooray, oh boy, and it's gonna be a lot different this year. Yeah, the tax law has changed substantially. The 1040 form that we're all used to is now half the size it used to be. And the personal exemption is gone, but the standard deduction is doubled. So a lot of people will be surprised at the size of their refund. Some will be surprised happily, and others will be surprised sadly.
Well, yeah, for most people, this was a tax cut. There are exceptions. People who large families who benefited from that personal exemption will be hurt. But most people, it's a tax cut. But the problem is the government changed the withholding to account for sort of the average, the average person's tax situation, and your situation may differ, and you may be surprised, and you may particularly be surprised with your Missouri return because the State Department of Revenue apparently made a mistake and didn't withhold enough from a lot of people, so there are going to be people owing who usually don't owe, and it's going to create a hardship.
I know. I'm a volunteer tax preparer for the VITA program, and I worry about the the reaction I might have from some of our clients when they find they owe the state. They never had to owe the state before.
Right, particularly if it's it's a large sum of money. There is talk in the legislature of giving people a grace period or something. I hope they do that, because this is really the state's own screw up.
It is the state's own screw up. Well, one nice thing is that very few people, not very few people, but many fewer people will have to go through the problem of itemizing their deductions because they've basically doubled the standard deduction. If you're a single person, you now have a $6,000 standard deduction. If you're head of household, you have $18,000. Right. If you're a married couple, you have $24,000, a couple thousand more if you're over 65. And that's erases the benefit of itemizing for a lot of people.
Right, and that is it's both a tax cut and it's simplification. So that's all to the good. My pet peeve with the way they're doing it is the new 1040 that you mentioned. They have the slogan was they were going to make it so you could put your tax return on a postcard. It's an oversized postcard,
and it's on both sides.
But they didn't really, but it's not really any smaller because the stuff they took off the 1040, they put on a bunch of new schedules, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and most people are going to have to fill out several of those, attach them, and it's really, it's more cumbersome, and it's not what people are used to. It's probably going to lead to mistakes.
And one thing you said before about people who might be hurt are people with big families.
Oh, yeah.
We have a friend who has 8 kids, a single mom. Last year, her personal exemptions were $32,000. Personal exemption is gone this year, and the doubling of the standard deduction
doesn't make up for
that. So I'm wondering, some people will be surprised that they're being hurt here.
That's right, and particularly if I hope she adjusted her withholding, realizing that she was getting a tax increase under this, this tax bill that passed in 2017.
Well, I'll talk to her, and she'll probably complain to me, I would imagine.
Probably, and she has a right to.